Look what I've got here! Forget it. I just got a huge order, so let's treat this as a little celebration. Well, what are you waiting for? If you don't get up now, you're gonna end up being late. Come on! You don't want to miss out, do you? Nirvana has over 10,000 fans now! Get your lazy bum out of bed now and get ready for school. My dearest little sis. I'm delighted that we could see each other again like this. By the time you see this hologram, you likely already know what mind simulation is. There were so many things about this ability that I wanted to tell you, but I never found the chance, nor knew how to even bring it up to you. Hence, why I recorded this hologram for you, for when the time was right. To be honest, when I first found out about this ability, I was scared to death. Because I witnessed the malevolence and disaster it caused. Luckily for me, I discovered by chance that this ability could also help others in need. And from then on, I began accepting it and put it to use, eventually becoming the detective that I am now. But then, something happened in me that made me reflect upon this question. How exactly should I deal with the truth I have seen? With this in mind, I thought you might encounter the same perplexity as I did upon the use of the ability. And so, here I am to tell you this story and hope that it's going to help you avoid the same situation. Oh, and after story time's over, I'll let you in on a few more secrets about this ability of ours. Though, there are many secrets that surround our ability, and lurking about are also some great dangers. So, before learning all there is to it, I want to make sure that you're completely ready for any of the potential dangers that could occur. As a result, you'll find that I segmented the hologram into different parts. Each of these parts may only be opened after reaching a certain level of sentiments. Well, it's time to test out your ability. I was only 17 at that time, and it had only been a year since I started using the ability to investigate cases. That day, I went to buy pastries for you as usual. Hey, why the long face?
Well, even just the thought of it makes me sick. Ever since the beginning of this year, our pastries keep getting stolen day in and day out. It happened again this morning, as the cherry pastry I made earlier in the ancient ways was stolen.
Oh no. Did you call the police?
Nope, it would only bring me more trouble, since these don't cost much and it would just disrupt business here. Oh, Ashley! Well, word has it you're a private detective of some kind yourself. Would you be so kind as to help?
I'll get right to it.
Brilliant! You'll figure out who's behind all this, and I'll give you a year's supply of Lotus pastries. Kai, welcome home!
Hey, Dad. I've got some homework to finish first.
That was me little girl. When her mother was still pregnant with her, we thought she was a boy, hence the boy's name. When she was younger, she also had the personality of a boy. But after many years of guidance, she's finally a little girly. Now, not only is she good at getting chores done, but she's also great at cooking.
This youngster here requires some discipline of yours. To steal the school's monitors and sell them for money is one thing. But to steal the lunch of a poor little girl and have her starve the rest of the day is even worse.
What? Don't worry, Miss Chin. I'll give him a good beating.
Such a thing cannot be taught by giving him a beating. Nor should you only rely on the school to teach him. Family guidance is also important. I need to visit a few other kids, so I'll leave it up to you now. Please put more effort into doing what I just mentioned.
In the back now. Have your sister help you with your homework. Hey, sorry about that. You know how it is with children.
Of course. Don't worry about it. Let's get back to the store theft.
Oh yeah, so that's where we were? Well, if I'm being honest, I actually already knew who the thief was. It's just I didn't have any evidence.
Oh, really now?
It was Mr. Do over from next door. He has always wanted to learn the pastry craft that was handed down to me over generations. A couple years ago, he even begged me to take him under my wing, but I refused. After that, he frequently spread rumors about our store in an attempt to ruin us. Some of the rumors include things such as us using expired flour, the syrup we use containing worms, and even people getting food poisoning from our food. I'm telling you, it definitely was him. He stole the pastry so that he could steal my recipe.
Hello, lady. How can I help you?
Hi, I'd like to get, one cherry deluxe, please.
Everyone kind of stopped making this pastry a while back now. The cherry snowflake would be the next most similar, so would you like that instead? After being stolen from, he insisted on it being me, and even came here to cause trouble a few times.
But according to what he told me, he said you two had a dispute and that you even spread rumors about his store.
Rumors, you say? That is simply nothing more than a competition. As for stealing pastries, you will not find that over here. And as you can tell from being here, you can see that our innovations are more focused on integrating the elements of Western pastries, rather than on Chinese traditional pastries like those of next door. With that in mind, that gives us all the more reason to not steal from them, right? One would not simply just steal a pastry if they were out for revenge. For something like this, the perpetrator is usually either someone of their own, or their own kid that decided to indulge themselves. If not, it was probably someone who doesn't like the owner, and wanted to get back at him in a way that wouldn't cause actual damage to the store.
Stealing pastries of ours? Who would bother? Even I'm sick of eating them by now. So long as I'm getting paid enough, whatever happens outside of this kitchen, I pay no attention to. I just make desserts is all. So as for details about this incident, I'm about as clueless as you are. You'd be better off asking someone else about it.
My boss is a decent person. It's just that he sometimes can have a bad temper. 2 days ago, he had an argument with his wife that went so bad that his wife went back to her parents' home for a while. After that, I was busy left, right, and center and almost couldn't keep up. But luckily, I had the help of Kai. Every day before school, she would help me clean and take out the garbage. And when she gets back from school in the afternoon, she even helps me greet new customers.
And what about Zach?
Zach? He does nothing at all. He's nowhere near as good as his sister is. If I had to guess, he was probably the one who stole the pastries. He's always been a petty thief as far as I can remember. Not to mention his immense love for sweets that ruined his teeth. Now that you mention it, I do remember seeing him wandering around the pastry counter earlier this morning.
Have you told your boss about this at all?
Regardless of how strict my boss looks, he still treats his kid as a treasure of his. I'm merely just a worker here, so why would I bother wasting my time with their family affairs? Zach, if you don't get to finish this, I'm gonna be the one who gets scolded by Dad.
Well, you two, I was tasked by your father to investigate the recent theft, and I had a few things to ask you two.
You're not suspecting that we did it, are you?
That I did not say. I'm just here to get a better understanding of what happened.
You adults are all the same. Don't think I didn't know what you were thinking. My sister and I would never steal anything from our home. Especially those pastries. We got sick of them ages ago.
I knew it! It was you all along! I'm gonna have to teach you a good lesson today, young man!
It wasn't me!
Hey! I was just here to ask about the incident.
You ungrateful little rat. Once your sister gets married in the future and moves out, what of this home wouldn't be yours? Must you steal it right now? Everybody says to have children to support us in our days of old age. But if you're like this now, then how can I count on you in the future?
Dad, it wasn't Zach.
Knock it off! Your little brother made a mistake and must pay for it. You, being his big sister, should also feel ashamed for letting him do this.
Look, this incident could entirely be someone else's doing. So how about I take them along with me? Once I've fully completed my investigation, I'll come back and present my findings to you.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
That kid just now. Do you guys know him?
She often brings us tasty food, so we all love and appreciate her very much. Today, she gave us some sort of cherry-flavored deliciousness.
Kai, did you steal your own family's pastries?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Every single morning, you helped the waitress take out the garbage, and you brought fresh pastries to the homeless children in the park. The food the kids received today just so happens to be related to the missing pastry, the Cherry Deluxe. Do you have anything you would like to say, Kai? I just want to know why you chose to do this. In everyone's eyes, you were always the outstanding young little girl.
Outstanding girl? That's not who I want to be at all! I don't like cooking, sweeping the floor, or even taking care of my little brother!
Do you hate your father?
No.
I know you hate him. It may seem all good on the outside with him treating you well and always providing you with food and clothing. But in reality, in his mind, you are the daughter that is to be married off, and Zack is the true heir of his. Such strong thoughts always show themselves eventually. He himself might not have even noticed it happening himself. You hate him. You long for his love and approval. So while you were trying to be the daughter he always wanted you to be, you had no choice but to steal and release your frustration through this way.
You're making things up!
I am speaking nothing but facts. This is what is truly going on inside your mind.
You think you know me well. You know nothing.
So, the one who stole from the store, was it really Kai?
It was, though she had her reasons. She's at that stage of puberty where her mind is rather sensitive, and can sometimes feel like you're showing favoritism towards Zack.
Favoritism? We've been nothing but fair to her. All her food and clothing are in no way different from that of Zack's.
The favoritism I'm referring to isn't tangible, but what's in your heart. To you, Zack is the true heir to your family, correct? You thought that as a daughter that's to be eventually married off, Kai should be the one to take responsibility of doing housework and taking care of her younger brother.
But that's just how things have always been since ancient times. Indeed, she will one day be married, so that's why she should be the one doing the housework now.
Times change, and such ways of thinking are outright wrong now. I know it's hard for the standards of an old generation to change, but for the sake of your daughter, please try and understand her point of view.
Thanks to the clues you provided, the case was solved. The group of gangsters were also arrested and brought to justice.
Just doing my job, sir. Kai?
You know this young lady?
I do. Was she also involved in this gang theft?
At the time of arrest, she was with the group of gangsters. But our thorough investigation has confirmed that she was not involved in the actual theft. I was just about to give her family a call to come and pick her up.
There's no need for that. I know her family well, so how about I take her home instead?
I don't want to go home.
Why not?
Why not? Because of you! If it weren't for you blabbering on in front of my parents, things wouldn't be like this now, would they?
What do you mean?
They said I was ungrateful and called me a hypocrite. Even our neighbors said I'm no conscience at all. You thought that as long as you told the truth, the problem would be solved. But in reality, it only made things worse.
You don't like this life, right? If you don't go home, you're only going to make your parents and neighbors feel even worse about you. You should also know that you, and only you, can free yourself from this situation by getting a good education and eventually move out.
You think that I'm the one who doesn't want to go to school? After school, I need to go back home. I just can't.
Well, how about going to a boarding school then? That way, you won't have to go home.
But there's no way they'll agree to that.
As long as you're willing to go back to school, I can help convince your parents to send you to a boarding school. A couple years later, I heard Kai was admitted to a decent university and that the relationship with her family eased up. Though, she still decided to work in a city far from home and rarely ever went home. And up until now, I still have no idea whether or not she forgives me for what I did. It was through this incident that made me realize that while mental simulations can help reveal the memories of others, it doesn't mean that we can fully understand those memories of theirs, not to mention empathize with them. That's why we must still remain super considerate of everything when it comes to handling the truth. The fact that you are here watching this must mean that you've made great progress in your ability. It's time for me to tell you the last secret. This one is about the source of our ability. Our parents used to work at...
Uh-oh. File corrupt.